Stinky Cat Wi-Fi. I'll have you know that this is the house, the house of sophisticated cats.
Yes, this is true.
This is a bed and breakfast for sophisticated cats.
I've been meaning to make a logo for that for a long time.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, this is actually a pretty good camera.
It's amazing when you listen to me.
I know.
Hang on, let's let
the signal boost.
Let's let our fans know that we're live, and by that I mean share it on my personal page. Oh, god damn it, this would have been the perfect week to have David come co-host with us too. We live, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Nah. Alright. Good morning, everyone. I am the Sussman, Rick Sussman, member of 205 Live and proud participant in this year's Saudi Arabia Tournament of the Stars. To my left, your right, is the American dad-ass, Jesse.
I already forgot about the 205 Live joke that I made.
And we, of course, are Team HAMMA Fist, brought to you by my house, Jesse's technology, and your ability to need to be entertained for roughly an hour, because none of us can stop the crushing void of existence.
Speaking of the void,
I have a new shirt, everyone. Is it going to be a photo of Effie's tweet that is never talked about again? I need to oh, you did make it large. Okay, good. This is lovely. Yeah. So, look at the color change on the camera.
I know.
That's insane. This is a magenta shirt. I cannot...
Safety pink.
Definitely magenta.
Whatever. It was in a box that said safety pink.
That's fine. You can dance if you want to. You can do the safety pink. The safety pink is the chick that you've been banging for a long time, and you know she doesn't have any herpes. Friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, they're no friends of mine. You could go where you want to. You could. All right. Do I wear this? Do you need me to wear it?
No. You're already dressed for the jungle. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a show.
You
want me to? You want me to do it?
Go for it.
So here's the thing. You want to hear the true story about why I'm wearing my long shirt for this, or do you want to hear a great lie I came up with?
Okay, tell me both.
Okay, so the real
one truth and one lie.
Okay, so here's the truth and here's the lie, and I'll let you figure out which is which. The truth is, or the lie is, that we're doing the show way too close to the line, and I need to get the fuck out of here because I am really, really, really close to hitting that 200-pound goal, and then I don't have to keep doing this anymore. The lie is, or the truth is, for whatever reason, because of the way that my condo is built, our studio here, this bedroom, is always frosty, frigid, fucking cold.
Yeah, it's a little chilly willy.
Which is the real one, Jesse?
I'm gonna go with both.
That's true. That's true. All right, let me.
There we go. The shirt says.
The shirt says, "Waiting for the crushing void."
No. I think just waiting for the cold embrace of the void.
Thank you. Cold embrace of the void. I forgot my own joke, which is today's theme.
There.
So yeah, just waiting for the cold embrace of the void. I am the CEO. I am the guy waiting for the cold embrace of the void. The CEO. Jesse, aside from this fantastic shirt, what is our not sponsor this week?
I'll give to our not sponsor. Our actual sponsor.
Whoa!
Our actual sponsor this week.
Like people paid us?
No, the actual sponsor this week is me.
Oh,
because I paid for these.
That's right.
You get your own little baby internet title.
That's right.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can wear
Jesse,
it like
are you gonna do this shit proper? You're gonna do this shit proper?
Here we go. There we go. Oh, imagine if it was ring size, though.
Well, I asked for it. I wanted it ring size or slap bracelet size. But, Jesse, I'll show the viewers at home. Yep. How does someone get a hold of this incredible piece of internet technology?
Fully Gimmick will be selling these WrestleMania weekend. Oh, yeah, you got to put it on. You got to put it on Simon. It's the only way he's ever going to wear our belt.
That is probably true.
That is fairly accurate. Fairly accurate.
Simon Grimm, if you're looking for an internet title reign, come talk to us because I'll make it happen, or so help me God. But since I know you're not, don't bother. Boop! Look at that.
That looks pretty good.
Look at that. How cool is that shit?
Yes. So Fully Gimmick will be handling the sale of these. These were done amazingly by The Den. That's what he's called. On
Dan the Den?
I believe his name's Josh. Oh. But
thing.
Oh, also, I've been sitting on these for too long. There you go.
What the fuck is this?
It's it's old school WWF Muscle Figures.
Oh, wow. Wow, you really...
I got you the least problematic pack.
You really should never have. I get a wrestle figure Ric Flair.
Obviously,
what appears to be a no mustached Mean Gene Okerlund, which is just weird.
That's just weird. I don't.
He looks like Dick Cheney.
Oh God!
I'll post photos on my Twitter.
He does look like Dick Cheney.
And then and then a totally not
aluminum
offensive. A totally not offensive Sheik.
Oh no! Every other pack had Hogan or Macho or Warrior, and I was like, this is the least problematic pack. Ric Flair is the least problematic of, Iron Sheik.
Ric Flair is a lot like the Madonna of pro wrestling in that during their heyday, everyone was always worried about Madonna, Prince, and Michael Jackson because they were like this three-headed dragon of pop. And everyone was like, well, Prince is like really sexual. It turns out he died way too young from an issue with, I guess, fentanyl. I'm not 100%.
I don't remember what it was. Yeah.
It was definitely drug-related, and it was very tragic. And that sucked. Michael Jackson, depending on what day of the week you want to believe, and if you need to listen to the Thriller album again, raped a bunch of kids. Or didn't. Again, that Thriller album is fucking good.
We have a lot of Michael Jackson covers on the work radio.
And then you've got Madonna, who everyone was like, oh, that girl's going to get the herps and the AIDS and the herp AIDS and the aid herps. But she's living her life into
herp IV.
Yeah, the herp IV.
Yeah.
But she's living her life into her 60s and doing quite well for herself. She has gone full cougar, if you're not aware, and I believe her current boyfriend is like 28. And to that I say, good for you, Madonna. So you see how Flair is like Madonna.
Oh yeah, no, Flair is definitely Madonna.
I mean, we don't know for a fact that Hogan raped any children. We don't know for a fact that anyone maybe slept with underage girls that are the daughters of the company, allegedly.
And Ultimate Warrior was a
huge racist. Huge
piece
racist.
of shit.
Massive racist. Yeah. Big homophobe.
So, our not sponsor this week is, I feel it is our lot in life.
Fair.
To have to try these. I have heard nothing but bad. I believe Eric Stevens said they taste like shit.
So this is Coca Cola Energy, our not sponsor. Which I thought was hilarious when I read about Coca. Oh my god!
I haven't even looked at the back.
It's not even an energy drink, dude. It's literally just sugar water. I'm not kidding. Okay.
14%. Jesus Christ.
So it's 140 calories.
Oh, but they have B vitamins.
Yeah, fine. It's 140 calories, which is less than I figured something like this would have. 3% sodium, much less than I figured.
Yeah.
But this is where they get you, bro. Total carbs, 39 grams. Total sugars, 39 grams. In turn, includes 39 grams of added sugars, which is 77% of your daily sugar intake. I'm not too sure I want to drink more than one sip of this. It should taste like, before you drink it, this should taste like rock candy. You ever accidentally open, like, you open up a Tupperware full of food that was in the back of the fridge. Now you know it's going to...
Have I ever?
You know it's going to smell like shit. You know it's going to be bad, right? Mm-hmm. But you open it, and it still punches you in the goddamn face.
Yeah. It tastes like soda medicine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
that's
getting
good.
Like some Robitussin kind of.
Yeah, no, that's good. Soda medicine. You don't have to keep drinking it, Jesse, just because
I'm trying to get, like, the experience.
I could just saw your foot off. Oh, God.
Get that ASMR in there.
You know that's worse.
It's weird. I feel like if I got to the end of the can, I would have ultimately not hated it, but I really don't want to drink that.
That is worse than Pepsi Fire.
Is it?
Because Pepsi Fire
I remember you declaring that Pepsi Fire was worse than, I believe, tasted worse than Sacagawea's balls.
No, I probably said something along the lines of, it was more disgusting than slurping rancid tuna salad from my own asshole. No, the reason why that's worse than Pepsi Fire is Pepsi Fire tried to just be like this crazy, stupid shit.
Yeah. Coronavirus. Sorry.
That's fine. This is unquestionably bad.
Yeah. It tastes like Coke and balls, the drink, not testicles, at the same time, and it's... Yeah, I know. Just no. There's going to be a no from me, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a no from me, dog.
Speaking of things that are also big no's.
Yes. Let's get to it. We've wasted enough time. It's time that we begin our discussion of the WWE. And Jesse Long...
most of those W's are just why?
I guess you could say it's the who, what, where, when, and why of the WWE. So we had our showdown in Saudi Arabia once again, and you know, money needs to be made and all that. So good on them for that. And then there was some big changes in Saudi Arabia.
Miz and Morrison won the tag titles.
Oh, I didn't even know Miz and Morrison were a team.
Yeah, they're back together. They won the tag titles.
Off of
New Day.
Good.
Because again, thanks to that Forbes article.
Good.
African American wrestlers went over 6
yeah.
at Super Saudi Down.
Yeah.
Which, happy Black History Month, guys.
One of my favorite Black History Month stories is from Big E, and Big E is such a wonderful person.
Big E was the silver lining of what we're going to ultimately get to.
But Big E said that during Black History Month a couple of years ago, I was slated to lose to Seth Rollins, whose move at that time was called the curb stomp.
Happy Black History Month, everybody. Rick, I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say that the WWE is not sensitive to the black experience.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the WWE understands its core audience better than you and I do.
Yeah.
But there's no point in getting around it. We might as well discuss it. It has been the hot topic all over the internet.
Yes.
At the WWE Saudi America show, we saw Billith James Goldberg defeat THE Fiend, Mr. and Mrs. Fiend, a son for you,
I'm what is it? Fiend, the.
Our show is just making fun of other podcasts now.
Yeah,
that will never have us on.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have Zach Cooper. At any rate, you were upset about this.
I was fairly upset.
I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Because
we were two different parents of this.
I can't get upset at the WWE anymore. I just get disappointed. My disappointment was similar to a lot of the other pundits. We're wrestling pundits, sure.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
In that
makes it sound like we're in the same league as guys like Simon Miller and Adam Pacitti and, you know...
Chris Hayes. No, I'm sorry. Chris Matthews. It doesn't.
Oh, Chris. Yeah, whichever. The one that said something stupid on MSNBC recently? Is that the one you're thinking of? Yeah. Chris Matthews.
You know, what's funny is I just got a text message from one of our viewers, as opposed to, I don't know, saying something in the chat.
Okay.
I started watching at the perfect time to watch you guys try Coke Energy, whatever. Now you're talking about stuff I know nothing about. Almost like it's a wrestling podcast, Jesse Long.
Maybe.
Almost.
It might be.
Almost.
We've only, it's only been about wrestling for 12 years. 12 years.
Just a decade.
Yeah.
Just a full decade of Sundays.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, that was great.
That might have been at one point called Wrestle Crush.
Whatever. So, at any rate, we are. I
think we're gonna have to just to make it easier. We're gonna have to change the name to Team Hamfist presents the POWA Hour Wrestling Podcast,
where other things are discussed.
The POWA Hour and General Discussion Podcast.
Team Hamfist presents General Discussion Saturdays. Hi, my name's the Sussman, Rick Sussman, and on today's agenda, Jesse, what do you got for us?
God damn it! Goldberg beat the Fiend.
Settle.
How
So here's one reaction to Goldberg beating the Fiend and winning the Universal.
I don't even care that much.
Yeah, you do. You wouldn't react this way if you did. This is why our reactions are so different. My reaction was, Well, he never should have been the champion to begin with.
Okay, I will say that they were in a position where, like, how the hell do you get the belt off of him? But to that, maybe build up a babyface and have that babyface beat them in some sort of dramatic fashion instead of just going and then almost dropping him on his head. And
so here's why you're upset. You're upset because you feel that the best possible character development in the last 10 years or so of WWE programming was flush.
I would argue that the Fiend was they had lightning in a bottle, and he was the best monster since Brock Lesnar. If you want to get into the broad strokes of like a monster in WWE, because in my head I was thinking like the best monster since Kane. But if we were talking like creepy weirdo monsters, he's the best monster since Kane. General monster Brock Lesnar, and they proved. I feel like it's just that circles back to it proves that don't you dare get over unless we say so.
Yes and no. Now, that's true, but they wanted him to get over. They gave him the lantern. They gave him the whole Megillah.
Yeah.
This is what happened.
They gave him Mike McGillicuddy.
This is what happened. About 8 months ago, when the Fiend debuted, roughly.
It was SummerSlam. It's been SummerSlam until now that all of this is.
Yeah, so about 8 months ago.
Yeah.
The WWE had been in a ratings tailspin for some time since the move to Fox. The Fiend became the most popular thing almost overnight, and they proceeded to shoot the moon with him.
Yeah.
The problem is, when you shoot the moon, that's it. Mm-hmm. When you like, everyone's like, why haven't they strapped a rocket to the back of Ricochet and launched him into this? Well, how long is he going to have a title reign for? Let's assume Ricochet, wins. He didn't. Brock Lesnar found out what his heritage was and made sure to beat him in 6 seconds.
Poor Trevor.
Yeah, I like Trevor a lot. He's a really nice guy. Yeah. At any rate, but what if he had? Let's assume Ricochet. Eventually, Ricochet's going to have to lose,
of
right?
Course.
And I hear you that, hey, why couldn't we have built up a character, someone to really get behind? Mm-hmm. But that's not the world we live in, Jesse.
No, it's not.
The WWE simply does not care what you or me or Adam Pacitti or Cultaholic or What Culture or 900 other bullshit podcasts that all stole our idea anyway care about. It's true. Yeah. We were first. Look at the fuck up. Anyway, I will never submit to that. But they don't care. They had a plan. And their plan was, we're going to do Spear versus Spear, Goldberg versus Roman, and it's going to be for the title, and we don't really care who we piss off along the way, because we're just going to have Fiend and Cena go out on Friday night, and all will be forgiven. And they were right.
Yeah. Well, even then, I watched, so I put on, it was 9:56, and I was like, okay, I want to, I knew that Cena was on last, and I was like, ooh, I want to see the Fiend attack him, So Cena comes out. He cuts his promo about how this year it's gonna be like he's gonna sit WrestleMania out, guys. Like he's gonna be in
the crowd and have a beer.
Well, yeah, he's gonna bet on the future and he's gonna sit this one out. And then he does this, and we're in Boston, so basically his hometown. And then the very impassioned promo, whatever. And so he he makes it all the way to the stage. And then here comes the Fiend. And they did. I'll give credit where credit's due. It was a really cool shot. It was like right here on Cena, like kind of horror movie style. And then they pan back, and the Fiend is back here. And what does the Fiend do? Fiend just points. He points at the sign, and then they both sort of just like at each other. And the most wet fart of a I don't know. When I think of the Fiend, it's not. I don't see the Fiend going like, I want to challenge you for a match at the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah, but whose fault is that, Jesse?
I don't know. Our fault for believing in something. That's who it is. It's our fault for believing that in anything.
Okay, so while you've been talking about that, because quite frankly, I don't care anymore. There's this thing.
Oh, there's a QR code on there.
Yeah, it's not a QR code. It's sip and scan. Open Coke.com on your phone, scan icon, enjoy more. Here's why this just shot up the ranks to worst fucking thing ever. I just went to Coke.com just because I wanted to scan this fucking thing to see what happens, right?
Yeah.
You gotta submit your email and your date of birth, and you have to agree to Coca Cola Company's terms of conditions. Join the list, and then you get to skip and scan, I guess.
Yeah, then you get to like gain points. I think it's points.
Oh wait a minute, no, I was able to supersede it. But I need to get Coke needs access to my camera. Yeah, that's fine. You can listen to anything I'm saying. Here you go.
And I don't think they care about us kvetching about the Fiend anyway.
I'm trying to get this thing to work. Holy shit, dude! What do I gotta do?
I don't know.
Oh, I gotta capture it.
Oh, you gotta take a picture of the. You get your a football.
It's a football. I did a football, everyone.
And then you have to sign in, or
do I feel that?
Feel that. That's you
getting energy.
Explore.
Jesus Christ! All right, I'm moving on. This was a train wreck.
Yeah. So,
meanwhile,
yeah,
in the world of AEW, and we're gonna speed through this one because we kind of wasted too much time talking about the Fiend. But what else is new? Meanwhile, in the world of AEW, they are producing some of the coolest fucking toys I've ever seen.
I'm in love with all of these new AEW toys, and they look like these WWE toys. They don't look. They don't look. When I knew they were coming out with toys, I was like, oh, I hope they don't look like shitty toys. And because we've both watched all of the toys that made us, and if they look like shit, they aren't going to sell.
Here's the thing: you and I and others have been constantly concerned that AEW was going to shit the bed somehow.
Yes.
Oh, the wrestling's not going to be good. Yeah. Wrestling's been pretty good. The women's division's going to be terrible. Women's division's been very, very...
It's been all right. It's getting better.
It's also been...
They have Swole now, so that's all you need.
They've been building it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Build up.
I know.
And then they were like, what kind of toys are they going to make? You know, Jesse, I'm starting to think... AEW may actually know what it's doing.
And maybe for a t-shirt company. That's And sort of tying back into the previous thing, I've seen people going like, talking about the fact that Goldberg is 53 years old and he's the world champion, and people are like, look at AEW. They're world champions and it's 52. Okay, there's a big difference. But Goldberg squashing the Fiend in a minute, in 30 seconds, because all he can do is spears and a shitty jackhammer. That's all he has in him in a match. That's all he can do, because he hit his head on the wall to psych himself up before the match. The difference, there's a big difference between that and Chris Jericho having a whatever minute time limit draw with fucking Jungle Boy and putting him over and using the fact that Chris Jericho is an established star of multiple decades to build talent, there's a difference. So, but circles. AEW might just know what they're doing.
They might just have this idea.
Maybe
the idea behind it being a very, very, very slow burn is not necessarily a bad thing. They are a brand new wrestling company that have never existed before. They have television. They are letting Jericho keep the belt on him for an extraordinary long time. And that's great. We have no honest face challengers to Jericho's title at this point.
I mean, we got Moxley tonight, but I kind of don't want Moxley to win. It'd be cool if Moxley won, but there's more mileage in having this shitbag Chris Jericho heel just being his Chris Jericho-iest and, making viral content just whenever he opens his mouth and he's over as hell. The fucking singing along to Judas
on the cruise.
You can't deny there's still a cool factor about Jericho and he can still obviously go. He's not the same as he was in, the WCW Cruiserweight division, but but
he's, the thing about Jericho...
That was 30 years ago.
The thing about Jericho that people don't give him enough credit for is he is modern day, and Muda's still around, so it doesn't really count, but he is modern day Muda. As he aged, his moveset has aged with him. Muda was the same. There's a reason why Muda can still work.
Yeah.
And Hogan just sits there and goes, brother, and Flair
Edward.
And Flair and Sting are retired.
Yeah.
Flair's 70, so let me take that back. Flair is 70, the end.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why Sting had to retire. Sting and
because
Muta
Seth
had
Rollins broke his neck.
Sting had amazing matches.
Yeah.
And Muta had amazing matches, but one of them really evolved with the times, and one of them sort of didn't.
Yeah.
Jericho figured that out 20 years ago.
Yeah. Whereas Goldberg is the same person he was when he was facing Chris Jericho 20 years ago.
You know, if it works.
It works. It maybe. But, no, yeah. And he knows how to keep on reinventing himself. He changes his character constantly.
He is the face of the company, whether they like it or
and
not.
I'm giving all
sure
the
they
credit
do.
in the world, even though he's a Trump supporter.
Politics is politics, dude.
I'm just kidding.
Eventually, so this is my favorite story about why some shit just doesn't matter. There is endless reports, endless confirmation that Tom Cruise is an incredible human being.
Okay.
His friends, people, journalists, everyone who's ever sit down with him has just, you can feel this amazing energy off of him. He evidently is a wonderful person. He does what he can, etc., etc. However, he's a fucking nutter about his religion.
Yeah.
So if you're talking to Tom Cruise, you can sit down, you can have a great conversation, you can talk about just about anything with him, evidently. But if you're going to bring up religion, shit's gonna get weird.
Yeah.
Now, if you tell me that a millionaire...
I'm flashing back to his Matt Lauer interview like 20 years ago.
If you tell me that a millionaire is more interested in voting for a guy who's going to lower his taxes than anyone who's going to raise his taxes...
yeah, I'll give that.
I'm going to sit here and go, no fucking way!
No fucking shit, yeah. No, I understand that.
On top of that, I'm not going to dissuade someone who I like 99% of the time for something that he and I don't need to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't need to talk politics with 90% of the people I hang out with. And frankly, if I'm not going to sit there and have this big, long conversation with them, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because,
no, that's fair. It's the same... Yeah, I agree with that. And also give him credit. He was not overwhelmingly super informed about trans people, and then he had a great interview with Nyla Rose. And now he's fucking, like, standing up for trans people.
Well, it's one of those things where, are you willing to evolve? Or do you want to stay in your echo chamber?
And I feel like he's shown that in wrestling and as a person. Yeah, he can evolve. But AEW as a whole, and it isn't just the WWE being just miserable on the main roster, just being miserable to watch. I find myself being drawn more and more to wanting to watch AEW.
Well, it's new, it's different, it's fresh.
And it isn't even that new and different and fresh. There are times where it really does just feel like fucking WCW.
Yeah.
But in the best ways.
But you don't go into a WrestleMania program, in January and think to yourself, lol, Roman's just going to win.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking forward. I look at WrestleMania and and I'm just like, oh, the NXT women's title is going to be on WrestleMania. Cool. And like...
Now, this brings us to a very topical...
Meaty men slapping meat. That's WrestleMania.
Okay. This brings us to a very topical and now very concerning situation. You're mentioning WrestleMania constantly. There's going to be like 1 million fucking people out of nowhere descending onto Tampa in about 3 weeks, right?
And it might be on free TV.
Well, that's neither here nor there. I have come to a conclusion.
Okay.
Maybe we shouldn't go to wrestling events for the foreseeable future. Maybe we shouldn't also go to any kind of event where there's going to be, thousands of people who we don't know and have never met before standing near us and possibly bleeding on us.
I'm thinking back a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
So the big, nasty elephant-killing virus in the room is the fact that whether we want to admit it or not, whether we think it's a hoax or not,
it's not a hoax.
It's not a hoax.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is not a hoax.
No matter what your coronavirus czar says.
There is a literal pandemic happening, and if you don't want to believe it's in America, fine, don't. It is absolutely everywhere in Asia. It is in France. It is in Italy. It is all over the world. I guess somehow it's avoided the U.S., and good for us.
Good for us, yeah.
It's in Mexico.
Yeah. And we live in Orlando for also.
Right. Orlando, which has one specific destination point that the entire world...
Yeah, and then like a good number 2 one as well. Yeah.
I was thinking about this very honestly with myself. I don't think I'm going to go to WrestleMania weekend anymore.
I can't imagine that is a smart choice.
I don't know if I want to be around large crowds right now.
Yeah.
Like,
unless you got the immune system of a fucking tank.
And I'm 38.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I got my flu shot, and that was nice.
Yeah.
I think it's time for us as a wrestling community to sort of take a step back. To give you an idea of how bad it is in countries where we know the coronavirus isn't a hoax.
Yeah.
Japan canceled school.
Yeah.
For a month.
Yeah.
Japan just said, fuck all this shit. Everybody stay home.
Yeah, exactly.
Here in the United States of we don't give a shit, we have people who just got out of quarantine that may or may not still have the disease giving interviews coughing on their children.
Hey, Jay.
So I'm going to say this as a wrestling fan, but as a human who doesn't want to die first.
Yeah.
We really need to
and also, I know,
have this conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe we should stop going to wrestling events and big time wrestling events like WrestleMania. Like, I mean, I hate to, throw it out there, but any of those satellite events happening that weekend, because Jesus Christ, you're going to possibly die.
Yeah. And if you aren't going to die, you probably have a loved one who probably should not come in contact with something like I know the medicine that my daughter takes for her problems, it fucks with her immune system.
Yeah.
So, and I know your wife's health isn't super amazing, wonderful.
No, it is not.
No. I would say it's probably not good. So, and I know, and like one of my other kids he is probably like the saddest little asthmatic kid I've ever seen. So, I don't want maybe it won't kill me, but if it's on my clothes and I go give my kid a hug, it might fuck them up. It
is a situation that you, as a wrestling fan, you need to make your own decisions.
Of course. Yeah.
And obviously you're a person, you can do whatever the hell you want. But I'm looking at this right now.
And if you are going to go to any shows, you should definitely go to the ones that our friends are supporting.
Wear a face mask.
Yeah.
Not right now, man.
Yeah.
I can't give you a positive.
No.
Let's move on though, because we're running low on show and we've got some other stuff to talk about.
Yep.
I cried.
You cried?
I cried a little, Jesse.
Okay, tell me why'd you cry?
Because Hugh hugged Picard.
Yes.
He was there, and he's gonna die. It's really obvious Hugh is gonna die.
Yeah.
They're killing off everybody.
Yeah.
But he hugged Picard, and there was this great moment.
Little Ninja Romulan boy probably not gonna make it too.
Well, he was featured.
Well, it's
I love that.
I like Elnor. I like Elnor.
Elnor's great, but I love that line, which is, why are you still drinking that? This is why you're fat. This is the specific reason.
Okay, yeah. I came back to
This is the specific...
I got nothing but carbonated Robitussin on
this
that
is
one.
This is the exact... When you look down at a plate of food and you're not hungry, you're like, all right, whatever.
Gotta finish the fish and chips, man.
I know. I understand needing to finish that. Yeah. You could put it in a box and eat it another time.
Yeah, that's true. Or I could leave it in my fridge, and then I open it up, and it tastes like Coke Energy.
All the way coming back.
Synergy.
So, Picard has been very, very, very good since last week. Episode 2 was still terrible, but every episode since then has been fantastic.
No, and I really enjoyed the 7 of 9 episode. I mean, obviously, not just because it's like, for me being like the Voyager fanboy, going like, Voyager! They said Voyager! But, her storyline was really good too, then with Icheb and everything, and it's been great. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I can't say enough good about Picard. It's amazing. I'm in love with this show still.
My buddy RJ just said, "Hey, look, everybody! Rusev's wearing a pink shirt."
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying Picard more than I thought I was going to. I knew I was going to like it, but I thought I had called the concept of the show of being a version of the Hive storyline.
Oh yeah.
Looks like I was wrong, which is fine. I might still be right depending on where the show goes.
Yeah.
But we are opening up a lot of possibility. Oh, David is actually here. Finally made it back, guys. Came in, hear Rick talk about crying. That's right.
There we go.
I cried watching Picard. I'm a grown man. I can cry. I'm a big boy. I'm a big girl now.
Yeah. Wearing your big girl pink shirt.
Anyway, Picard is really, 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 really good, but it led me to an interesting thought experiment.
Okay.
This week...
Coronavirus.
You were the one who coughed first. So this week, there was a new show that debuted on...
was it Prime?
Prime, thank you.
Yeah.
Called Hunters, which is...
on Bezos.
On the Bezos. Which is a show all based upon the Nazi hunters of the 70s and the 80s here in the U.S.
Nice.
It is not a true story, but it is based on a true story. Yeah. But a lot of the people who I follow on Twitter and who are, just into it have already watched the entire season. Okay. And I haven't gotten around to getting to the first episode, but it raised a really interesting question. I thought about this. I'm watching The Outsider on HBO. I'm watching Picard. Mm. I'm watching a couple of different shows. Mm-hmm. And though I'm paying for these things individually, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to lie and say you're not paying for CBS All Access just to watch Picard, you're fucking lying.
Well, I also watched Discovery, too.
Oh, okay, fine.
But that's only 2 shows. Yeah. At any rate.
I Love Lucy. It's on there, too. Which is also
Picard, Outsider, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
A lot of these shows were weekly uploads, and they weren't all at once. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Hunters was all at once.
Yeah, it was the Netflix style of just
boom. And everyone who's seen all of Hunters has been sort of like, yeah, I mean, it's good, but it's got.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe we aren't all a little burnt out on the Netflix binge style.
Yeah,
because I'm actually really enjoying waiting for.
No,
Picard
I do miss the waiting of shows because. Like, I know, as great as... Okay.
Project Blue Book.
What is that?
I'll have to check that out. Go ahead.
As great as Stranger Things is.
Yes.
The fact that you can get it done, even me not being able to just sit there and watch TV all day because I got kids, being able to finish it in a weekend.
Ooh, it's on history. Okay.
Being able to finish... Stranger Things, which is like this sort of like big pinnacle cultural show that everybody loves... Yes. Finishing it in a weekend.
It's a tentpole show for sure.
Yeah. You're just sort of like, there you go. It happened. It was a thing. It's like you watched a really long movie, and as good as that movie was, it's just sort of like
that is how I felt watching Lock and Key. That is verbatim how I felt watching Lock and Key and watching Dracula.
Okay. I need to watch
by the way,
Dracula.
Project Blue Book is essentially a History Channel retelling of the alien hunters of the 40s and 50s.
That sounds good.
So I felt the same way watching all of Lock and Key. I sat there, I'm like, this is lovely, and then it was over, and I went, huh.
See,
same thing with Witcher.
Like, I hope they come out with a season 2. It's like you watch it and you're like, well, that was a fun 70. That was a fun.
Was a fun weekend.
That was a fun weekend. See you next year.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna do the same thing with. So that sort of just got me like percolating. Like, is this the way to do it? Is all at once over now? And I'm starting to think
it's interesting that it is. Yeah, I feel like in some ways it is. Yeah.
As you have known me for a long enough time, I am always ahead of the curve. Mm-hmm. I never get credit for it, but I'm always ahead of the curve. You've seen it happen on more than one occasion. I think we have now hit the watershed moment, and shows that come out on a weekly basis, even when you're streaming them, are going to be far more popular.
Well, like Mandalorian. That was a weekly thing. Everything on Disney Plus that's like original stuff is weekly uploads. Like their Diary of a Future President. That's a weekly upload show. All the Marvel stuff will be weekly upload shows. And it, well, for one thing, on the one hand, it's the companies making sure you have a subscription for months on end.
Sure.
Which is fine. But I'm more willing to do that for this really good content, because otherwise I'm sitting looking at Netflix going like, why do I have it? You've constantly questioned, why do I have it? And
I know why I have it. I have to watch more episodes of Chopped.
There you go. Exactly. But
wait, that's on Hulu. Fuck.
God damn it. Yeah, I was about to say. I'm enjoying the model of it. It works better. it just works better. Being able to, the waiting and thinking about the show and actually staying in your brain from week to week.
Experiencing television the way you used to experience it as a kid.
Yeah, then there's definitely that part of it.
We're gonna have to table this.
All right.
Because we only have 15 minutes left before you have to go leave.
The answer is yes, you're right. Weekly television is better than not all at once television.
Yes and no. Weekly television is better in general, but having everything all at once in front of you, I think, still has its purpose. They're just going to have to figure out a happy balance between both.
Yeah.
For instance, having to wait 3 weeks to watch all of Dracula would have driven me insane because there's 3 episodes.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So that's dumb.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and there's some shows I kind of would. I feel like I wouldn't mind just being able to watch all at once, like Doctor Who right now.
Yeah, hey,
there's 10 episodes. 10 episodes.
How about this? How about any way to watch Doctor Who at all?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to have any way
Instead
to watch.
Instead of dropping $15 a month for fucking HBO Max. Because that's where it's going to be.
I might do that. But right now,
depending on what content's on there.
Yeah, well, right now, as a person who really is a big Doctor Who fan, I can't watch Doctor Who, Jesse.
No.
Unless I want to pay for every single solitary episode ever. Yeah,
this is a BBC app, and it's on there. But, I think you have to log into a TV provider. So there you go.
Anyway. Jesse Long, it's time for the show where we make fun of Tom immensely. I don't know where his pillow is. We moved it. It's over there. Okay, you always have your eye on it.
Yeah. I always know where it is. You move it. I'm like...
Miles away. You move the pillow.
Text me. Put it back!
What's pissing you off?
I'm pissing me off this week in a very silly...
A frequent occurrence.
Yeah, I'm a reigning champion of what's pissing me off. What's pissing me off this week is myself because... So my wife and I have started watching on TLC, My Feet Are Killing Me. And...
Oh, yeah. My wife knows that one.
Yeah. Because we were really into watching Dr. Pimple Popper because we're gross individuals. And then, so we're seeing these commercials for My Feet Are Killing Me, which is in the same vein. If you like this gross shit, we've got more gross shit. And so every time that we watch it, and they don't fucking hide anything. They will literally be, the camera is literally right here on this fucking person, this sad person's foot that looks like it got put through a wood chipper and then shit out by an alligator. And it's just the grossest fucking thing. And they show the surgeries where they're fucking drilling
What is
pins.
The point of your story?
I'm mad that I'm watching it because I'm mad that I'm choosing to watch it. I'm a grown adult. I don't have to watch this. I have multiple channels. I'm paying too much for everything else. Why am I watching this? The number of times I've sat there with my wife while we're watching these foot surgery videos and I'm just like, why am I why? I'm mad at myself for just watching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
There we go.
Okay.
What's pissing you off, Rick?
I guess in a way it's the same thing.
Me watching.
No. Me. I'm pissing. Jesse, I want you to look at my most recent downloaded app real quick.
Okay.
There it is,
Pornhub?
Jesse. No, they don't have an app yet that I'm aware of.
Toy Blast. Okay.
So I downloaded Toy Blast again.
Mm-hmm.
I did 250 of the puzzles in the first 2 days that I had Toy Blast.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't put any money into it.
Okay, good, yeah.
But, man, why do I keep fucking doing this, man? Like, every few months I get a wild hair up my ass and I download, like, Gardenscapes or Toy Blast.
Some random game, yeah.
The game where the game itself is completely just RNG based. Like, what's the other one? Like gems, the magic gems. You got to connect like 3 in a row.
Oh yeah, any sort of match 3 game.
Any match 3 game.
Yeah.
Anything that the little girl from Wreck-It Ralph is based off of.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why.
For me, for a while, it was Toy Story Drop. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I really like that one. I enjoy the ones where there isn't a time limit on it because the time limit ones, I'm just like, fuck, and then I don't do well. I like the ones where you're just like,
there's an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which we love, by the way. We're watching the shit out of that. That show's amazing.
I need to start.
where the captain gets addicted to Quasi cupcakes,
Okay.
and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And
Candy Crush.
Yeah. Candy Crush. That's the best example.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened to me is I saw him playing it, and I went, I want to play that game again. I'll need to play.
You're like a crackhead watching someone smoke crack.
It's exactly that, because you're like, well, I could just.
I like crack.
I like crack. I can just download the crack into my phone, and so I
can delete the crack whenever I want.
I'm literally sitting in my bed last night at fucking 12 midnight, and I'm just doing this, and I'm just.
That was Nikki last night. She was playing Crossy Road. She was just sitting there mindlessly. It's 2:00 in the morning, which is going to be part of my what.
Look at all those colors, Jesse.
I know, so many colors.
You just gotta open
and then when you have
hands.
like the big explosion, it's very emotionally gratifying.
There's so many things in my brain right now telling me that this is good.
Yeah.
Look at how I matched all of them, and I'm gonna make a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Look at that big thing. Look at all this. Look at this.
Yeah. No, I got you. I've been playing what's the one that I downloaded? I downloaded one of those woodworking apps. I don't know if you've seen the ones where you have the thing and you have to like carve out the shape of the wood because it's turning. Yeah. Yeah. Are you gonna ask me what I learned this week, Rick?
Huh? Oh shit. Okay. Hang on.
Rick, it's been about an hour.
Look at the big one.
I know.
Oh, I ran out of lives.
Yeah. There we go.
Jesse,
okay?
Jesse, what did you learn this week?
I learned that I feel like I might be double dipping on this one. I feel like
what are the odds?
I know what the odds. I learned that at 32 years old, I can't stay up till 2:00 in the morning.
Oh no shit!
Yeah. For whatever reason, one reason or another, Nikki has kept us. Nikki is very much a night owl. She gets her second wind at like 9 o'clock.
Have you met my friend David?
Yeah. She gets her second wind at like 9 o'clock at night, and that's when she's just like, cool, productivity time. Cool, I'm gonna catch up on laundry. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, that, and the other thing. That, and the other thing. And I don't have the heart to just go like, cool, I'm gonna sleep. You work, because I know for a fact if I do that, she's gonna stay up even longer, and then she's not gonna get to bed until 5 o'clock in the morning. So
that's just not healthy.
No,
though.
It's not. And all week, for whatever reason, one reason or another, sometimes we just stay up too late, sometimes like just watching TV or whatever, or to being productive.
That's not being a night owl, man. Like, that's legit.
That's
not
like borderline
healthy.
insomnia.
Yeah, no, like that's not having a good sleeping pattern.
No, it really is
she
bad.
Probably, she works all fucking day. I'm sure, taking care of your kids. I'm sure that she takes a nap during the day.
Yeah,
at some
she does.
point.
Sometimes she takes a nap,
but that's not good, man.
No, it's not. It really isn't. It really isn't. And I've been feeling it at work. Thank God I have a Keurig. My coworker brought in a Keurig, and for whatever reason, the only good spot to put it is this far away on my desk. Literally, barely arms. Like, I don't even have
this
to.
Energy shit is you're dying, man.
Yeah, exactly. No kidding. Waiting for that cold embrace of the void. Yeah. By the shirt. Yeah. I need to be going to bed a lot earlier than.
So you learned that at 32.
I learned that at 32.
All right.
What did you learn?
Well, before you do that, this is a running gag that's happening at my work right now.
Okay.
One of our coworkers just turned 28.
Okay.
And I looked him dead in the eye, and one of my other coworkers, she's in her 30s.
In 2 years, it's all downhill.
No, not even in 2 years. I looked him dead in the eye, and I said, you know what's funny? Is you need to go to the doctor now. And he's like, why? I don't feel bad. And I'm like, no, you don't you don't feel bad. You should go to the doctor. We sit here and we make jokes about, waiting for the cold embrace of the void and all this other shit. But I'm going to let you in on a funny secret. When you get to be in your 30s and you go to the doctor and the doctor looks at you and goes, you're fit as a fiddle. Your heart's fucking dying though, so you got to take this little pill for the rest of your life. And you go, what do you mean? Take this pill. And it's like, if you don't take this pill, all the bad shit in your heart is going to go kablooey, and you're going to be dead in your 40s. And you go, huh? You mean like dead? Like not a meme?
Not just like emotionally dead.
No,
I'm already there.
Not just like making Facebook posts about going to see CMR or something like that. And
not just like ha ha ha, I'm dead.
Yeah. No.
In the ground.
End of life. And it happens at about that age because the human
I
body,
noticed that.
The human
I
body
noticed
was
that.
never designed to live beyond 20 or so years. So anyone who's in their 30s and above, we should have been dead by now.
It's all been downhill. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but the day I turned, or maybe the day after, but the day I turned 30 is when I started waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning with acid reflux, throwing up. It happens. I've figured out. I've worked it out so it doesn't happen as much now.
Well,
but when I first turned 30, I mean literally turned 30.
And I'm really impressed because to your credit, you have done nothing to make yourself healthy.
Exactly. No, I've done more I've learned what has been triggering it, and then when I turned 31. Okay.
No. You either end up as the person watching the foot surgery or dead.
All right, I am the person in the foot surgery.
So,
yeah, and then I turned 31, and then it moved up from 2 o'clock in the morning to 11:45 at night, and then I've learned how to work on it now.
So
it took me 2 years.
What I learned this week, aside from being the quintessential specter of death, is that I can change brakes on a car.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was worried.
And you don't mean just like take it to a brake place and pay them.
I was worried that my car's brakes were squeaking, and I'm so skittish about my car's brakes because my wife and I ruined her last car's rotors and had to pay like $500.
Okay.
So I heard it going beep, 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 and I'm like, uh-oh, brakes is going. I need to fix them. The problem is we just put like $500 into my wife's car last week, so I didn't have the money.
Of course, yeah.
So I was looking up a DIY for a Hyundai Sonata, and it's really simple. What you do is you take the wheel off. Mm-hmm. You take the wheel off. So you unscrew it.
Yeah.
You take the wheel all the way off. You unscrew the caliper. You open the caliper up. You hold it off so it doesn't fall, so the wires don't get all fucked up. And then you take out the brake and look at it. And then you can see it. My buddy was there to watch me along the way. He showed me the how-to. He just made me do everything, and I wanted to do everything.
Yeah.
And he looked at it like, dude, your brakes are completely fine. Whatever's squeaking, it's not the brakes. You have nothing to worry about. And I went, oh! So then I put the... we didn't have an air gun. I had to spin the fucking thing.
Yeah, of course.
But I learned I can change brakes on a vehicle. Now, here's why you still take it...
Good job.
Thanks. Here's why you still take it to a dealership otherwise. For 2 wheels, for us to check on it, it took me roughly an hour.
Okay.
If you have an air gun and you have a lift, you can change brakes in about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
You take the car into the air...
Yeah.
Pull.
Like a really slow NASCAR pit stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're the only guy there and you need your brakes changed, I guarantee you if those dudes are worth their weight, whoever's working on your car will get it done in roughly 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Let's see. Look at the big boy fans. Yeah, big boy fans.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy now. I'm a big boy now.
All right. I believe, Rick, it is time for us to get our shit in.
Go for it, Jesse.
You can find us on the social medias on Twitter at Team HAMMAFist, TEAMHAMMAFIST. You can find us on Facebook, which is where we are live streaming this right now, at facebook.com/THFist. You can follow the internet title at internet title on Twitter. There will be little mini baby internet titles.
Go ahead.
For purchase for capitalism.
Go capitalism.
Go capitalism. You can follow the Wrestling Nerds Radio Network on Twitter at the WNRN. We're also on Facebook. I don't exactly remember what that URL is. It might just be the WNRN. I think that's what I said it as. I don't remember. It was a week ago. You should always follow the much better podcast on the Wrestling Nerds Radio Network, the IndieCast, INDYKAST, and This Makes No Sense podcast. I think it's
by recent
TMNS. This Makes No Sense podcast. I believe that's what they're
hosted
Twitter.
by recent MLW signee.
Yes, hosted by
Zachary Cooper.
MLW's own Zachary Cooper, and I believe they haven't made him cancel his podcast yet.
So that'll be soon.
Yeah.
For all of that...
Ooh, I'm going to say this right now. Zachary Cooper and this guy and MLW, I want to see that.
That's big men slapping meat right there.
Yeah, big meaty men slapping meat.
Big meaty men slapping meat. For the American Dad Ass Jesse
and 32176 tricks.
For the American Dad-Ass Jesse Long and all of our friends across the Wrestling Nerd Radio Network, I am the Sussman, Rick Sussman, reminding you that if you're going to buy shit, it might as well be small enough that when you throw it away, you don't notice that it's gone. I, of course, am here every Saturday, even if Jesse isn't, so feel free to text me as you have done all morning and not actually participate in our show.
Every other Saturday, he's still sitting here shouting at his TV about wrestling and the void and politics. It just so happens that I put a camera in front of him every other Saturday.
Fuck, this didn't go well. All right, everybody, I'm going home. I'm gonna go sweat off the last 5 pounds.